What is up, my brothers and sisters? It's your boy Juice. Look at all this rain over Florida already. And the hurricane ain't even there yet. Milton, he's all the way down here by Mexico. Then you got all this rain over Florida already. So Florida's already being inundated with water already. Right? So if you're in Florida, heed the warning now. Yeah, because you're already getting a lot of rain and the hurricane isn't even close. So, when you look at the weather as a whole, because people only focus on America, right? Because we live here and it's relevant to us. But when you look at the world as a whole, it's flooding everywhere. There's fires everywhere. And the funny thing is I knew people were going to say this. I said this a couple of months back, right? That there was going to be a hurricane that hit Florida, right? Or these southern states, and that Republicans were going to say that Democrats did it and they weather manipulated it because they're Republican states. And then I said that there was going to be fires in California and that the Democrats were going to say that Republicans set it on fire. That's how full of shit everybody is. See, people can't understand the truth of it all, that they come up with bullshit, right? They come up with all this bullshit, right? And people keep saying weather manipulation, right? Look at all these hurricanes out here, right? Look at Kirk. Look how big Kirk is. Good thing Kirk is not coming anywhere towards land, at least not that I know of. Look at the size of Kirk, right there in the middle of the ocean. Now look at the size of Milton, right? Here's Milton. Look at the size of Kirk. Weather manipulation. That's fucking bullshit, right? Like, these motherfuckers always want to come up with some poor excuse and always blame it on the government, right? It's always the government. They're the ones that did it. The Democrats did it. No, the Republicans did it. Republicans are doing it to Democrats. No, Democrats are doing it to Republicans. But as the world as a whole, right? The world as a whole. Look at this hurricane. Kirk is just right here is a perfect example. Look how big Kirk is. You think somebody's weather manipulating this hurricane in the middle of nowhere? Right? Come on now. Don't be a fucking idiot. People want to believe all this bullshit, right? And Trump ain't coming to save you. Kamala ain't coming to save you. You know why there's no soldiers in North Carolina? Because we don't have the numbers and we don't have the money, right? This is a telltale sign, right? And then you had a union strike that lasted only 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, because if I was one of those union workers, as shitty as my job is, so is everybody else's job that has the function in the world, right? I'm sure the people at McDonald's right now, or Wendy's, they're like, this job fucking sucks. But at least it pays $14 an hour, right? But $14 an hour really ain't shit compared to today's economy. See, and I said this a long time ago. When the economy opened back up after the sickness, people were like, oh man, $14 an hour to start at McDonald's? Oh man, yeah, no, it's worth going to work there. No, it was to entice you to go back to work, yes. But what you didn't know was that the cost of living and groceries and everything had gone up as well. So what used to be minimum wage was $7.50 here in Texas. Now all fast food restaurants are paying $14 an hour to start. That's because $14 is minimum wage, right? $14 is minimum wage, right? So all the people who are already getting paid $25 an hour, $30 an hour at good jobs and careers, they stayed right there, right? They're still getting paid $30 an hour, right? So you know, yeah, the fast food workers and all that got, an up in pay, but, we just don't have the numbers in military and or the money, right? And as far as like us sending money to Ukraine and all that, and like the money going to the immigrants and all that, all that's probably a crock of shit too. There is no money. There is no money. How much money do you have on you? Where is your money? Do you know where it's at? Do you know who has it? How much physical, tangible money do you have right now? So then $8 billion going to Ukraine, it's non-existent. It's pretend, right? It's pretend. Most people's money is in their phone, right? And I always ask people this, like, how much money you got, right? Like on you right now, right? Like, what if power goes out? What if the internet goes out? How much money you got on you? Where's it at? In your phone? Well, why don't you go get it at the bank? Well, because the bank's on the internet. Like, there's no physical bank. What do you mean? Like, that sounds fucking stupid. It sounds like you're pretending that you have this money. It's invisible and it doesn't even really exist. Right? It doesn't even really exist. And then, the port strike, the port strike, like I was saying, I'm kind of bouncing around here. The port strike, they went on strike for like 3 days, right? And I was like, yeah, because like, if you don't go to work, like you don't get paid, right? So how long are these people going to last if they're bitching about a pay raise because they don't get paid enough, even though they get paid pretty good? But, I understand inflation and all that, but like, how long can you go? Right? Like bills, like your rent's due. You still gotta get groceries, right? Maybe they got kids, car payment. Like, how long can you go without working? Right? Like, you just decided to say, fuck my job, right? Like, my boss sucks and we want some more money, right? Okay. Right? Oh, okay. Well, if I was their boss, I'd be like, come back when you get hungry. Y'all can bitch and moan all you want and stand out front with your signs, but I'm gonna sit back and wait for y'all to get hungry. So when you get hungry, let me know. Your job will be here waiting. Or I'm gonna give it to Pedro and Jose, right? You don't want to work. Well, like Pedro and Jose, like they don't give a fuck about that 65% increase. They think it was badass just to get paid $30 an hour. Like, how much are you getting paid? 40? Oh man, see you later. Pedro and Enrique are gonna do it for 20, right? you know? And then these people are like, oh, they keep giving money to the immigrants and oh, they do all this. You know how many immigrants are in North Carolina and all these states right here that are getting flooded and banged out? Apparently the government doesn't care about immigrants either because they're not coming to save them either. Right? Yeah. It's all a crock of shit. It always has been. And you can't see it for what it is. Trump ain't gonna come save you. Kamala ain't gonna come save you. Even if Trump came back, what's he gonna do? Shit's already hit the fan. Shit's already broken. Right? Like the cat died, right? So if the cat died, it doesn't matter which vet you take him. You got the Kamala vet, and then you got the Trump vet, right? The veterinarian. Both of them are gonna tell you, man, the cat's fucking dead, right? Neither one of us can bring it back to life, so neither one of us gonna do anything for me or help me, right? Poor kitty Whittles. Well, USA, huh?